Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, I want to take a look at Amazon Rekognition, which is a very cool service. I've used it a lot in the past. In fact, if you look at the AWS documentation, if you see any Ruby code, I'm the one that supplied it. I gave it to AWS, and then they included it into the docs, which is pretty cool. There is a lot of things you can do with Rekognition, but it looks like it does more than it does because when you look at through the management console, it looks like these are all separate services, but a lot of them are utilizing the same API call underneath. Let's just take a quick look at the demos of what it can do. So we have label detection here, where it is identifying objects. So you can see here, it knows how to identify a bunch of predefined objects. Here it can just describe image properties. So it is showing us the dominant colors here in this repo. We have image moderation. So the idea here is suggesting whether the content here is problematic. So we'll go over to here. And so notice it says swimwear, underwear, non-explicit nudity. So it's talking about the level of degree where there could be a concern. Okay, so that it's animated content. We'll go over to facial analysis. So here it's showing that it's found a person, a face. Here it's comparing whether these two people look the same. Check that a user is being verified physically. Ooh, can I do this? Let's try this out for fun. Not sure what I look like right now, but I mean, I'm not using my camera. Something is using up my camera right now. Give me 2 seconds. Unfortunately, OBS is taking up my camera, so I can't turn this on, but that would have been fun to try. We have celebrity recognition. So here we can see if it actually knows who this is. This is Jeff Bezos. I can't imagine this would work for me, but for fun, I'm going to try it out. So I'm just going to go over to Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and just grab, 1 second here. Just downloading my image here, and we'll go ahead and upload that. So I'm just going to go ahead and upload, 1 second. All right, so I've selected my image here. And it doesn't know who I am. Come on, AWS. Am I not famous enough? We'll go over here. Here you can see that it detects text in the images, so we get that out there. This is okay for simple text selections. Text extract obviously is more complex, more working with documents. Personal protective equipment, whether people are wearing particular things. So that is pretty straightforward. But anyway, we've taken a look at all this stuff. You could also make custom labels, which is a whole process on its own where you want to uniquely identify stuff. But let's just look at some basic examples that we can go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead into my repo here. I'm using git pod, use whatever you want. And I'm going to make a new folder here called Rekognition. Okay, I'm going to make a new file here. We'll call this main.rb. And we'll just cd into that directory. And as per usual, I'm going to use Ruby just because it's super easy in this use case. I know how to use other languages. I just want to use Ruby. I find that it's easy to teach too. Anyway, so we have our gem file in here. I'm going to go ahead and just say gem AWS SDK. I'm going to assume it's Rekognition. That's usually the pattern here this follows. I'm going to put an aux here. We could put no Kugiri, but we have to put some kind of XML parser. It's just a Ruby requirement. And I'll put pry in here, which is for debugging. We'll just go ahead and do bundle install. Hopefully it finds Rekognition for us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the Rekognition AWS docs, and I'll pull out my own code that I wrote like years ago, and it's still there. So if we go here, we go detecting changing objects and images. We go to the Ruby one, and I'm the one who wrote this. And what's weird is like I wrote this, but AWS for some reason put copyright 2020, all rights reserved. I made the code. Like, I don't know, like it's not a big deal. Like most code in AWS, like they don't put that disclaimer in here, but like this one I clearly made. But I can use it because it's my own damn code. So let's go ahead and just paste this in here. Not to say that it was problematic, but anyway, so what we have here is, and the way you know that I did this is that I made sure I put the require in everything that you need because other examples don't do that and it drives me crazy. So I just think you should be able to copy and paste and start working with an example. So, we required it. We don't need this because, well, you might need it depending on what you do, but I'm just going to go ahead here and say get caller identity, STS get caller identity. But I already have these set, and this basically will happen automatically, so we can just take this part out. All right. And I think we can pass along a file via HTTP, but we'd have to base64 encode it, and I'd rather just put something in an S3 bucket. That's what we're going to do here today. We'll go ahead and type in AWS make bucket, or MB for make bucket. AWS S3 is like S3 make bucket. I will say recog example. Put some numbers there on the end. You do whatever you want to do there. So we have a bucket. And I remember like here, I wasn't sure if it needed the S3 or not. So I told people explicitly, which makes sense. And then we'll just have a photo here. I'm going to go ahead and just rename that file I downloaded earlier. This will be andrew.jpg. Okay, I'm just going to bring this image into here. I'm going to do AWS S3 copy S3 / recog example 1421. And I want to copy andrew.jpg to here. Just in case you don't want to write out these commands by hand, I guess I'll just copy and paste them in here into this README here. Just in case. Create bucket and upload file. Run Ruby code. This will be bundle exec ruby main.rb. Bundle install if you have yet to do so. But anyway, so that file has now been uploaded. We'll have to go adjust the main.rb here. No, that all looks good. And what we'll do is go ahead and run this. So bundle clear, bundle exec ruby main.rb. And we have access denied. Well, that's interesting. Not sure why. Maybe it's access denied to the bucket. I wonder if we have to update our bucket policy to allow Rekognition to have access. That's probably what it is. So I'm going to make my way over to our S3 bucket. Rekognition S3 bucket policy. That's probably what it is. Well, I'm going to just give it a go here because I'm pretty clever with this kind of stuff here. We'll just go Rekognition. And I'm going to go over to the bucket policy, which is permissions probably. Here we go. And I'm going to add a new statement. And I want to allow Rekognition. There we go. Well, the thing is, like, I want the principal to be Rekognition, right? It's S3 that I want to provide access to. So we'll go ahead and, because this is not very useful when it's doing Rekognition, we'll go back and say S3. Yeah, sure. All actions. It doesn't really matter. And I want to. Yeah, this is not very useful. I want to say it's for Rekognition. I don't know what the service principal is for it. Service principal Rekognition. I was just hoping when I Googled it, we would have saw that for something. Okay, Rekognition bucket policy access. And replace with your IMARN. Is that really how it works? It says cross account. I don't want cross account. Make sure the region of the S3 bucket is the same as Rekognition. Otherwise, it won't work. Oh, okay. Where is this bucket? So we go over here, and we'll go back to buckets. Recog. This is CA Central 1, but this should be CA Central 1 as well. I guess we could be explicit and just set the region as US East 1. AWS client, Ruby set region. I don't know if it's just region or AWS region, I just can't remember. No, it's just region, okay. We'll go ahead and try this again. Check object key, region, or access permissions. Well, let's make sure that that is in the bucket. It is there, okay. Let's make sure our bucket name is correct. That's right. That's all correct. Well, this is... Come on, Andrew. I said it had to be CA Central 1, and I wrote US East 1. Now, I'm not sure if that's a problem, but we'll try it again. Still doesn't work. That's really interesting. Okay. What could it be? Well, if it wasn't that, I really think it is. I really keep thinking. I keep coming back here and thinking it's the bucket policy. So I'm going to try here. S3 bucket policy that lets Amazon Rekognition read from the bucket. And I feel like I just need to know what the service principal is, but it's like, it's hard to Google that. I don't know why it's so hard to find out, but I'm thinking that's what we need to do. Yeah, service principal. It's going to be like rekognition.aws.amazon.com or something. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. This is just the only line I really wanted, but we'll wait for it to write the whole thing out. There we go. Okay, that looks good. So I'll go ahead and copy that. We'll go back here. We'll try this again. And, well, it's interesting here. Like, you see this, and this one says, the policy assumes US East 1. Okay, so if it's not, we'll have to specify it here. And go ahead and type in CA Central 1. And I will copy the barn here. And we'll paste it in as such. Okay, we'll save that again. Invalid principal policy. Restrict access to service principal. Granting access to service principal without specifying a source is overly permissive. Invalid policy. What's wrong with that? I don't see an issue with it. Line 8. I mean, it's a global service. Okay, well, we could also put this in here if it wants it. Add condition, I guess. Hold on here. Add condition. I don't think it needs this, but I'm going to just do this because it wants it. We'll do that. Not sure what it means by default. String equals. And then I need the ID of this account. We'll just go back here and just do AWS ST get caller ID. There we go. This should give me back the ID right here, or the account number. And we'll say add condition. Okay, still doesn't want to save it. I don't see a problem with this. Maybe it's this part here. Maybe I'm missing like something in here. Let's go back over to this. What if we took out the CA Central 1? Okay, so now we don't have a problem, but they're saying that if it's not in the correct place, it won't work. Well, we'll find out here in 2 seconds. It'll either work or it won't work, right? Still an issue. Okay, maybe we're getting closer. Let's go back over to our bucket. I wasn't expecting this to be this hard, but that's just how it goes. And we'll say CA Central 1 period. Save it. It will not let us save it. According to AWS, This is invalid. General practice is use the global endpoint of the service, including without including the region. The service principle simply is this: if you're using the service region like say Central 1, the regional endpoint shouldn't be used in the service principle for the bucket. Okay, but you told me to. All right, that's fine. Okay. We'll try this again. We'll save it again. And we'll give this another go. So this is not working exactly as I was hoping it would. All right, let me figure it out, okay? Nothing here telling me that's going to help us here. I guess the question is, could Rekognition have policies of its own that we need to grant access to? I don't think it does, but let's just see if it does. Not sure why it's why is it so limited? Why is there only 2 things? Oh, does it do less in different regions? Is that why? Oh, okay. Maybe we can't do that in CA Central. That's our problem. The only thing we can do is facial analysis and comparison. Oh, okay. All right, so what I'll do, I did not know that. That's interesting. So I'm going to go back over to here. People in US East 1 are probably not having this issue, and they're wondering why I'm struggling. I'm going to go ahead here and just say region US East 1. Okay, we'll go ahead and delete our other bucket. We'll go back to S3 here. And we'll go to buckets. And we'll say Rekognition. We'll go ahead and delete this. And we need to empty it. Empty the bucket. Yes. Yes. Empty. And we still need to delete the bucket. Recog. Delete. Okay, and of course use a random number. Don't use the same number as me because other people might be doing this tutorial and you'll have a conflict. So I'm going to try this again. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just change this number here because the other one I guess is still deleting. I'll hit enter here. And I'll just upload this here. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to change this to 2. I'm going to hardcode this for CA or US East 1. We'll type in clear. We'll try this again. There we go. So what we get here is, so here it says it detected that there are glasses, and it sets the bounding box around it. It found that there was a face, a head, a person, photography, portrait, adult, male. You get the idea, okay? Outer space, it detected the background. So yeah, that's pretty interesting there. You could feed this stuff into some kind of tool and draw over top of it. I've definitely done that in the past. But yeah, I think that is good enough as our Rekognition example. There's a lot of stuff we could do here, but we just wanted to get some practicality with the code. Okay, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.